Friday morning, March 11th, 2011. A normal day, the kind you forget the moment it ends. In the coastal cities of Tohoku, Sendai, Ishinomaki, Rikuzentakata, Minamisoma, people went about their routines. Children in classrooms, workers at desks, fishermen mending nets, mothers folding laundry. The sky was overcast, the air cool. Spring was coming, but winter still clung to the edges of the sea. At Okawa Elementary School in Ishinomaki, 74 children sat at their desks, copying kanji characters into notebooks. Their teacher wrote the date on the chalkboard. March 11th, just another Friday, just another lesson. In Rikuzentakata, an elderly man named Yoichi watched television with his parents. His wife, Tatsuko, prepared lunch in the kitchen. The smell of miso soup, the sound of a game show, ordinary, forgettable. At the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, 15 miles south of Minamisoma, engineers monitored reactors that had been running for 40 years. Units 1, 2, and 3 were operational, generating electricity, humming quietly. Nothing unusual. No one knew that in 6 hours, 18,000 people would be dead. No one knew that entire towns would cease to exist. No one knew that the Earth was about to move 8 feet. And no one, not the seismologists, not the engineers, not the mothers holding their children's hands, knew that a wall of water taller than a 10-story building was about to erase the future. But the Pacific Ocean knew, deep beneath the surface, 72 kilometers off the coast, 2 tectonic plates had been grinding against each other for centuries. The Pacific Plate, sliding beneath the North American Plate, slowly, relentlessly, building pressure. And at 2:46 in the afternoon, the pressure broke. 2:46, the ground begins to move. Not gently, not gradually, violently. A jolt so powerful that buildings sway like trees in a hurricane. Roads crack open, power lines snap, glass shatters in cascades that sound like rain. It lasts 6 minutes. 6 minutes. An eternity when the Earth is trying to kill you. The magnitude is 9.1, the 4th most powerful earthquake ever recorded in human history. The most powerful ever to strike Japan. 300 miles of seafloor rupture. The Pacific Plate thrusts upward by several meters, displacing billions of tons of water in an instant. In Tokyo, 200 miles away, skyscrapers sway so violently that office workers cling to desks, screaming. Elevators plunge, train stations empty, millions pour into the streets. But Tokyo is far from the epicenter. In Tohoku, the shaking is apocalyptic. At Okawa Elementary, children dive under desks. The building groans. Plaster rains from the ceiling. Outside, the ground splits. Fissures open like mouths. One teacher shouts, "Stay calm, stay calm." But there is no calm, only terror. At Fukushima Daiichi, alarm bells scream, the reactors automatically shut down, control rods plunging into the cores, backup generators roar to life, protocol, procedure, everything is designed, for now. In Rikuzentakata, Yoichi's house swings back and forth, his parents clutch each other, dust pours from the walls like smoke. "Outside," he yells, "get outside." They stumble into the street. Neighbors are screaming. The pavement is heaving. A fissure opens 10 feet away, swallowing a mailbox. And then, after 6 minutes that feel like 6 hours, the shaking stops. Silence. People stand in the streets, trembling. Some cry. Some laugh nervously. Some check their phones. But the networks are down. It's over, they think. It's not over. 72 kilometers offshore, the displaced water is gathering itself, organizing, accelerating. A wave is forming. Not a wave, a wall. and it is moving toward the coast at 435 miles per hour, faster than a bullet train. Four minutes after the earthquake stops, the warnings begin. Sirens, loudspeakers, radio announcements. Tsunami warning, evacuate to higher ground immediately. A tsunami is approaching. This is not a drill. But people have heard this before. Japan has tsunami warnings often. Most amount to nothing. A few small waves, ankle-deep water. Inconvenience, not catastrophe. At Okawa Elementary, teachers gather in the schoolyard. The children line up, shivering in the cold. The principal debates. Should they evacuate to the nearby hill or wait here? The school is on slightly elevated ground. It should be safe, he thinks. He decides to wait. In Rikuzentakata, Yoichi hears the sirens and knows better. His town is coastal, low-lying, vulnerable. He grabs his parents. We have to go, now. They rush to a designated shelter, a community center on higher ground. Others are already there. Dozens of people, some calm, some panicking. Tatsuko, Yoichi's wife, is at home. She hears the sirens and runs outside, looking for her husband. The streets are chaos. Cars honking, people shouting. Yoichi! She screams, but he is already gone. At the Fukushima Daiichi plant, engineers are focused on the reactors. The earthquake damaged the electrical grid. External power is lost, but the backup diesel generators are running. Cooling systems active, everything under control. Then someone checks the tsunami projections. How high? An engineer asks. They're saying 10 meters. The plant's seawall is 10 meters high, designed to withstand any tsunami. State-of-the-art. Unbreachable. Or so they thought. Because the wave that is coming is not 10 meters. It is 14. In some places, it will reach 40 meters. 133 feet. Taller than the Statue of Liberty from base to torch. And it will arrive in less than 30 minutes. Coastal residents look out at the ocean. The water is behaving strangely. Pulling back, receding, rocks and seaweed that are normally underwater now exposed. Some people walk toward it. Curious, children laugh and point. Old fishermen know what it means. Run, they whisper. Run now. But most people stand and watch. And then, on the horizon, a dark line appears. At first, it looks like a shadow, a trick of the light, but it grows and grows, and the sound, a roar like a freight train mixed with thunder, reaches them before the water does. The wave hits, not like water, like a living thing, black, furious, unstoppable. It does not splash, it does not break, it simply consumes. The first thing it takes is the coast. Seawalls designed to withstand tsunamis crumble like sandcastles. Concrete barriers 10 meters high, shattered, twisted, thrown inland like toys. Then the towns. Cars are lifted and hurled. Buildings explode as the water smashes through walls. Entire houses ripped from foundations and carried away, spinning, disintegrating. People run. But you cannot outrun a wall of water moving at 400 miles per hour. At Okawa Elementary, the teachers finally decide to evacuate. Too late. The children are lining up when someone screams, "It's coming!" They turn and see it. A black wall taller than the trees roaring toward them. 74 children, 10 teachers. The wave swallows them. Only 4 children survive. 80 died in minutes. In Rikuzentakata, Yoichi stands at the window of the community shelter, watching the water devour his town. His house, gone. The school, gone. The market where he bought vegetables that morning, gone. He scans the chaos for Tatsuko. She was supposed to follow him. She was supposed to be here. But the water is rising, and she is not here. 3/4 of Rikuzentakata is obliterated. 2,000 people dead or missing. Yoichi's parents, who stayed behind to check on neighbors, are swept away. He will never find their bodies. Tatsuko is running. She made it to another shelter, but the entrance is blocked by debris. She cannot get inside. She sees the wave coming. A black sawmill building, ripped from its foundation, rushing toward her on the current like a battering ram. "Run!" she screams to no one. She and Yoichi reach a schoolyard on higher ground. From there, they watch their entire lives disappear beneath the water. 15 miles south, at Fukushima Daiichi, the wave crashes over the seawall, 14 meters of water. Unstoppable. Inevitable. It floods the basement. The backup generators are in the basement. Within seconds, they are underwater, drowned, dead. The reactors lose all power. No electricity, no cooling. The cores begin to heat, uncontrollably. Engineers stare at screens going dark, alarms blaring, red lights everywhere. Someone whispers, "This is it. This is meltdown." And across the coast, in town after town after town, the wave keeps coming. Sendai, Ishinomaki, Onagawa, Minamisoma, waves 6 miles inland, swallowing schools, hospitals, entire neighborhoods. 18,000 people die, most drown, crushed by debris, pulled under, lungs filled with black, oily water, thick with fuel and sewage and the shattered remnants of lives. Some are never found, swept out to sea, lost forever. A 60-year-old man named Hiramitsu Shinkawa runs home to grab belongings when the wave hits. His house is torn from its foundation. He clings to the roof as it's carried out to sea. His wife slips from his grasp. Gone. He floats, alone, for 2 days, 10 miles offshore. On the 3rd day, a rescue ship spots a red flag he made from his shirt. They pull him aboard. He drinks water. And then he weeps. His wife is never found. The tsunami killed 18,000 people in minutes, but the nightmare was only beginning. At Fukushima Daiichi, the cores are melting. Without power, without cooling, the fuel rods are heating beyond 2,000 degrees Celsius. The zirconium cladding reacts with steam, producing hydrogen gas, explosive, invisible, accumulating. On March 12th, 30 hours after the tsunami, Reactor 1 explodes, not the core. The building, a hydrogen explosion that blows the roof off and sends a cloud of radioactive particles into the sky. People 20 kilometers away see the flash, hear the boom, then silence, and then the evacuation orders. Leave, now, take nothing, just go. In Nami, a woman named Chikako hears helicopters overhead, sirens wailing, a voice on a loudspeaker shouting, "Evacuate immediately, radiation danger, evacuate now." She grabs her 2 children and runs. No time to pack, no time to think. In the following weeks, she will move 9 times, 9 different shelters, never knowing if she can go home. She cannot. Reactors 2 and 3 explode in the days that follow. Same cause, same horror. The Japanese government declares a 20-kilometer exclusion zone. 70,000 people evacuated. Some will never return. The radiation spreads. Iodine, 131. Cesium, 137. Invisible. Odorless. Deadly. Farmland poisoned. Water contaminated. Fish unsafe to eat. Fukushima Daiichi becomes a level 7 nuclear accident. The highest rating. The same as Chernobyl. Inside the plant, workers, later called the Fukushima 50, stay behind, pumping water, spraying the reactors from helicopters, trying to prevent total catastrophe. They work in shifts measured in minutes. Any longer, and the radiation will kill them. Some of them are already dead. They just don't know it yet. The cores melt through the reactor vessels, pooling at the bottom, a molten radioactive mass they will later call corium. So deadly that standing near it for 5 minutes would be fatal. Engineers begin pumping water, thousands of tons, into the reactors to cool them. The water becomes contaminated. They store it in massive tanks. 15 years later, they are still pumping, still storing. Over 1 million metric tons of radioactive water. And the cores, still there, still hot, still deadly. Decommissioning will take 40 years, maybe longer. When the water recedes, what remains is silence, the kind of silence that feels wrong, unnatural. No cars, no voices, no birdsong, just the creaking of broken buildings, the drip of water, the rustle of debris in the wind. Entire towns are gone, not damaged, gone. In Rikuzen, Takata, 90% of the buildings are destroyed. The entire downtown erased, 2,000 dead. In Ishinomaki, the water reached 4 kilometers inland. Bodies lie in the streets, in cars, hanging from trees. Rescue workers find a 4-month-old baby, alone, crying, in the wreckage. They do not know how she survived. No one does. In the days after, survivors walk through the ruins of their lives, searching for bodies, for belongings, for anything familiar. They find photos, waterlogged, unrecognizable. They find toys, a child's shoe, a wedding ring. They find nothing. One man stands in what used to be his neighborhood. Nothing looks the same. No landmarks, no streets, just mud and rubble. "I can't even tell where my house was," he whispers. Temporary shelters fill with the displaced, gymnasiums, schools, community centers. Hundreds of people sleeping on floors. No heat, no privacy. Waiting. For what? No one knows. Some wait for family members who will never come home. Others wait for permission to return to towns that no longer exist. In Fukushima, the evacuees wait in a different kind of limbo, not destroyed by water, but poisoned by radiation. Their houses still stand, intact, untouched, but they cannot enter. One woman is allowed to return for 2 hours, to collect belongings. She runs through her house, grabbing photos, documents, a favorite blanket. A Geiger counter clicks frantically in her hand. She leaves, again, and the silence returns. 15 years later, you can visit the Fukushima exclusion zone for a few hours with a guide, with a dosimeter clipped to your jacket. The roads are empty, overgrown, nature reclaiming what humans abandoned. In the town of Tomioka, streetlights still work, powered by solar panels the government installed. But there is no one to light the way for. Vending machines stand on corners, still stocked with drinks from 2011, faded labels, rusted metal. In a house near the plant, a calendar hangs on the wall. March 2011, frozen. In the school, backpacks sit at desks. Shoes line the entryway. Textbooks open to lessons never finished. It looks like everyone left in a hurry, because they did. Some towns have been partially reopened, radiation levels dropped, decontamination complete, but the population has not returned. Before the disaster, 70,000 people lived in the exclusion zone. Today, fewer than 20,000, mostly elderly. The young have moved on, built lives elsewhere, started families in cities far from the coast. They do not want to come back. Who can blame them? The Fukushima Daiichi plant still looms on the coast, wrapped in scaffolding and tanks and barriers. Inside, the cores still smolder. Engineers in protective suits still monitor, still pump water, still wait. 40 years, they say. 40 years to fully decommission. But some think it will take longer, much longer. The wave moved Japan 8 feet to the east, tilted the Earth's axis by 10 centimeters, shortened the day by 1.8 microseconds. The planet itself remembers. And along the Tohoku coast, memorials stand, stone markers, engraved with names, 18,000 names, and the waves still come, gently now, lapping at the shore. But the people do not forget. What do you do when the earth breaks, when the ocean rises, when the invisible becomes deadly? Japan answered with resilience. Within hours of the disaster, over 130,000 rescue workers deployed. Self-defense forces, firefighters, volunteers. They searched rubble, pulled survivors from wreckage, delivered food and water to shelters. The world sent help. 70 countries, rescue teams, medical staff, supplies. And the people of Tohoku, those who survived, rebuilt. Not all of it, not everywhere. Some towns will never return, but in Sendai, in Ishinomaki, in places the wave tried to erase, they rebuilt. Seawalls, taller now, 40 feet in some places, designed for the unimaginable. Tsunami evacuation towers, elevated shelters, early warning systems faster and more accurate, and memorials. To remember, because forgetting would be the worst disaster of all. At Okawa Elementary, where 74 children died, a monument now stands. The school remains, partially preserved. A warning, a lesson. Parents come here, leave flowers, toys, letters to children who never grew up. One mother writes, "I'm sorry I couldn't save you," but it was not her fault. It was the Earth's, the oceans, the forces we cannot control. What we can control is memory. Japan learned that preparedness is not paranoia, that warnings must be heeded, that seawalls are not enough, that when the ground shakes for 6 minutes, you run to the highest ground you can find, and you do not look back. 15 years later, the survivors carry the weight. Some have rebuilt their lives, remarried, had children, moved on. Others have not, cannot. They live in temporary housing, wait for land that will never be safe, mourn losses that have no graves, but they endure, because that is what humans do. We break, we grieve, we remember, and then, somehow, we continue. March 11th, 2011, 2:46 in the afternoon, the day the Earth moved 8 feet, the day 18,000 people died, the day Japan learned that even the most prepared nation can be humbled by nature's fury, but also the day they learned that when everything is lost, what remains is each other. The wave is gone, but the memory and the lesson remain forever. Hey, thanks for staying with me through that. I know it's heavy. These stories, Fukushima, Chernobyl, all the disasters we cover here, they're not easy to sit through, but they matter. The people who lived them, who survived them, who didn't make it home, they deserve to be remembered. If this moved you, if you learned something, or if you just think more people should hear these stories, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It's free, takes like 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps us keep making these. Drop a comment too. Tell me, did you know about Fukushima before this? Have you been to Japan? Do you remember where you were when this happened? I read every single comment, and your stories and perspectives mean a lot. And hey, if you want to see what we cover next, maybe the Battle of the Somme, maybe the dinosaur extinction, maybe something totally different, hit that bell so you don't miss it. To everyone affected by March 11th, to the survivors still rebuilding 15 years later, to the families still searching for closure, we see you, we remember. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.